Creation.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Ralf Onibala. I am sixth semester from the class English Literature. Right now, I'm going to read my research proposal with the title Discrimination in Law Enforcement that White Americans' Power Over African Americans in John Grisham, A Time to Kill. Chapter 1, Background of the Study. The time setting in this film is to entering the year of 1982, where on this time the writer John Grisham before becoming the previous novelist, is a lawyer who has handled a similar case. His first novel, A Time to Kill, inspired by the testimony of a 10-year-old girl who he defended that became the victim of rape and abuse. Grisham, so obsessed with it, Grisham said, "What will happen if the little girl's father kills her rapist? I will roll it back." Researchers see this popular novel as very controversial and very bold with the same title as the film. John Grisham dared to twist the story based on his experience with positioning a black man to kill two white men out of vengeance for honor and justice. There is a meaning what John Grisham wants to convey through this novel based on its title, namely the momentum of an individual or black who feels he should kill white men for destroying the future of his daughter that he loved. There will be no right time if we wait because the time is right determined by our own self. The black cast, as is told by John Grisham, was finally the decision maker. It's time for me to act, and it's time I have to kill when honor and justice can't be upheld. Time to kill. But behind the goal of describing an interracial corporation lies the bias that occurs in this film. It is not related to the meaning of this film of cooperation between race, but there is another side meaning that is more dominant in raising the image of white skin and visually form a racist attitude, all of which are depicted visually complex through play and control of power dominated by whites. The film A Time to Kill also raised one of the sociological terminology, the information of majority and minority. In life society, almost there is a majority group in the field of religion, economics, morals, politics, and so more. Minorities are easier to oppress and more often suffer from pressure by the majority. The relationship between the majority and minority often cause social conflict, which is characterized by subjective attitude in the form of prejudice and unfriendly behavior in general. The dominant group tends to maintain its current position and resist the process of social change, which might confuse the status. Fear of losing power drive them to oppression and waste productive potential of minorities. Point 2. Statement of the problem. Visual play, the film A Time to Kill generally depicts the struggle of a black person where he has to kill in a vigilante way that is shot blindly by two perpetrators who raped his daughter. Execution with the basis of his grudge was carried out in the court hall in the public when the rapist will be brought to justice. The action was carried out by a black person which executed two white people, which based on the background visualization. Later, this film is depicted in a still in the area and the era of American racism. The film depiction shows how this case legally processed, and it clearly shows the dominance of white figures in solving this international murder case. A white lawyer and his team too, who is willing to defend and come as a hero, a smart lawyer and never give up. Unlike the black main character, depicted as a laborer, vigilante, emotional, and resigned to the case he has to his lawyer. Point 3. Purpose of the study. First, purpose is to find out the power of white American in A Time to Kill film. Second purpose is to reveal the racism and class division in America that exists in the film A Time to Kill. Point 1 1.4 reason for choosing the topic. To show about the power that white American have over black American and how to handle it. 1.5 limitation of the study. This research will be limited on white American against the black people in John Grisham A Time to Kill. 1.6 significance of the study. Implication, this title will raise people awareness about white American power over black people that located from this research to social structure of society. Implication, how the team will expect it to destroy society. 1.7 definition of the term used. KKK is Ku Klux Klan is a secret hate group in the southern US that was formed several years after the Civil War, which aimed to suppress the newly acquired right of black people and to oppose carpetbaggers from the north, and which was responsible for many laws and violent proceedings. White power. White power belief and idea supporting natural superiority of the lighter skin or white human race over other racial groups. In contemporary usage, the term white supremacist has been used to describe some group exposing ultra-nationalist, racist, or fascist doctrines, which white power groups often have relied on violence to achieve their goal. Black people. Black people is a generic term which means African American people. Chapter 2. Review of literature. First point, American law enforcement. The American nation is currently experiencing a crisis of justice in law enforcement. This happens because it is only concerned with the aspect of legal certainty and formal legality rather than justice. The law cannot be enforced if there are no credible, competent, and independent law enforcement officers. Legal discrimination is a way for law enforcement officials to differentiate in the opposition of sanction against someone who is influenced by the person's ability, both in economic and in power field. Professor Suparji Ahmad. According to Suparji, the concept of precision, every case handling must be predictive, accountable, and transparent with justice. There must be no discrimination. Determination of the case must have a clear and objective reason. It must not be done without a reason that is accordance with the law based upon Suparji's statement. Society needs fair legal certainty without discrimination. Related novel with A Time to Kill. These are some of the novels that related with the theme discrimination and their authors. Method of research. 3.1 Research design. The writers used a descriptive qualitative method in conducting this research. Research on American power bias in A Time to Kill is a study that uses an interpretive or subjective approach critically with a qualitative descriptive research design. Qualitative descriptive aims to let the reader know what happened in the research and how the subject perceive or even judge certain events. 3.2 Collecting data. There are two data used in this study, namely primary and secondary data. Primary data, this data is obtained directly from the objects of research, namely from the film A Time to Kill, namely acting, dialogue, and storyline. Secondary data obtained from the other resource, namely library research in the form of books or through the internet sites, both theory and information related to the time to kill. 3.3 Analyzing data. The technique the writer used in order to analyze this novel is qualitative descriptive method. Qualitative method as a research procedure that produce descriptive data in the form of words or verbal from people and observable behavior. All the collected data that are related to the topics are analyzed in order to achieve the objective of this research. Thank you.